Good morning everyone. I am Vijay Kadamburi. Today we are going to learn about human heart. So we'll discuss human heart in the different parts. Okay. So in today's lecture, part one, we'll discuss about the basics and the general structure of the human heart. Okay. So mostly human heart made by the four different chambers, like one, two, 3 and 4. These are four different chambers of human heart, right? This is cardiac muscle. Human heart, the muscle of human heart made by the three different layers. Which are those? Outermost layer is pericardium. Second most is myocardium. And innermost is endocardium. Okay, pericardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Out of these three, pericardium is double membrane structure, which are filled with the pericardial fluid. What is the role? What is the function of each and every layer? We'll discuss in next lecture. Today we'll discuss about the structure, normal general information about the heart. So, human heart divided into the four different chambers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, don't get confused with the arrows. I will explain it step by step. So, today we all know our heart pumps the blood, but what is the mechanism we don't know, right? We do the exercise, everything for being healthy, but what is the mechanism behind that exercise? What is going to happen after the exercise? When we run faster, heartbeat increases, decreases. When we at the sleep, what is the main mechanism? So there is two ways to understand the heart. There is two circulation. One is systemic circulation and another is pulmonary circulation. Which systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. So what is means systemic circulation? The circulation between heart and to the body and body to the heart. What is pulmonary circulation? The circulation between the heart and the lungs and lungs to the heart. Means the circulation between two organs only, heart and lungs, that is pulmonary, heart to the body, body to the heart, that is systemic circulation. So how does that carried out by the heart? We'll see. See, this is superior vena cava. Superior vena cava. This one is inferior vena cava. What is the function of superior and inferior vena cava? Why superior? Because they brings or they carried out deoxygenated blood from the upper body part, head, hand, like this. They carry deoxygenated blood from upper body part, that's why we call it superior vena cava. And inferior vena cava carries deoxygenated blood from the lower body part, right? And largest vein in human body is inferior vena cava. Okay? Largest vein is inferior vena cava. So, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood in right atrium or right auricle. First chamber is right auricle, or you can say right atrium. Okay. So from the all over the body, blood come to the first stop. What is that first stop? Is right auricle or right ventricle. When right atrium or right auricle gets filled 70%. They contract. Right atrium is get contracted and blood passes to the right ventricle. This is the right ventricle. RV. Okay. Okay. Blood, deoxygenated blood, you can say impure blood or carbon dioxide rich blood carries by superior and inferior vena cava to the right atrium. From the right atrium, it pumped into the right ventricle. Then there is one wall which is present between right ventricle and right atrium. There is one wall is present. That wall is known as tricuspid wall. Tricuspid valve is present between the right atrium and right ventricle. So now deoxygenated blood is into the right ventricle. This is the second stop. From right ventricle, where it go? Now the right atrium and right ventricle carries deoxygenated blood, and left atrium and left ventricle carries oxygenated blood. How is that magic? Right atrium and right ventricle carries deoxygenated blood, and how is it possible to carry here is oxygenated and here deoxygenated and here oxygenated. How is it possible? So deoxygenated blood directly never comes into the left auricle or left ventricle. First, you can see here another wall is there. There is one valve which opens when right ventricle pumps that blood. Right ventricle pump blood into the lungs. Right ventricle contracts and pumps that blood into the lungs via pulmonary artery. We will see all the names one by one. Which one? Pulmonary artery. Okay. Now, what happens in lungs? Whenever we breathe in, we are breathing in oxygen. And whenever we breathe out, we are breathing out or releasing CO2. So, this deoxygenated blood in lungs, they release CO2 and they accept O2 by the diffusion method. How? We'll see in the breathing and exchange of gases. First, then in lungs, in short, right now, understand, in lungs, our deoxygenated blood get oxygenated. Okay. Now, who will carry that oxygenated blood to the right auricle? So, there is one vein, which is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood to the left auricle. This is left auricle. Okay. Left auricle carries oxygenated blood. So, who is the first home for the oxygenated blood? That is left auricle. Then, when left auricle gets filled with the blood, that time it contracts and there is another valve. This valve is bicuspid. Bicuspid or mitral wall or valve. You can pronounce anything. Tricuspid or mitral valve is present when left atrium or auricle gets contracted. This wall opens and blood transfers from left auricle to the left ventricle. This is left ventricle. Left auricle, left ventricle. Alright. Now blood is into the left ventricle, that is oxygenated blood. Now what will happen next? Our body require oxygen. Each and every part, each and every cell, each and every organ, tissue requires oxygen. So This is the last stop for the oxygenated blood. From the left ventricle, it passes to all over the body through the aorta. This is the main artery which carries deoxygenated blood from the heart. And again, it goes, it's getting branches. It's getting branch to all over the body and oxygenated blood provided to the heart. So, it is basic. Deoxygenated blood comes to right atrium or right auricle from the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, where right auricle. When right auricle gets filled, it transfers to the right ventricle. Which valve is present? Tricuspid valve is present between right auricle and right ventricle. Then right ventricle gets contracted, deoxygenated blood passes to the lungs by pulmonary artery. Alright, from lungs, who carries that oxygenated blood? Pulmonary vein. Oxygenated blood, where it comes? Left auricle or left atrium. Then from left atrium to the left ventricle. Left ventricle to aorta, and from aorta to all body parts. This is general, common and basic information of the heart. What do you have to understand right now? What to remember? Superior vena cava, it carries deoxygenated blood from the upper body parts. Inferior vena cava, it carries oxygenated blood from the lower body part. Right auricle, it receives the deoxygenated blood from superior and inferior vena cava. Okay. Which valve is present between the right auricle and right ventricle? That is tricuspid valve. And from right ventricle, where it goes to the lungs. Which valve is present? We'll see in the next lecture. Now, pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. What is going to happen in the lungs? Deoxygenated blood gets oxygenated, right? And which vein carries oxygenated blood to the heart again? Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood to the left auricle. Okay. Which valve is present between the left auricle and left ventricle? That is bicuspid or mitral valve. So, mitral valve gets open when left auricle gets filled with the oxygenated blood and that pumped into the left ventricle. From left ventricle, it passes to aorta, and from aorta, it goes to the all over the body part. This is just basic information. In next lecture, we'll discuss little bit more amount of new information, like what is the function of these three layers, why they contract, why they carry deoxygenated, why they carry oxygenated, why they need to be get pumped, and why they need to get oxygenated in the lungs only. There are a lot of things. What is the main difference between arteries and veins? Why we call different systemic pulmonary circulation? Right. So we'll discuss in the next lecture. Okay. Bye. God bless you.